Right, this will be a quick Amiah Sunday as we look at what's happening with, let's look at Los Angeles. Oh, is this Los Angeles? What's going on with Los Angeles and Buffalo, Buffalo, New York, Buffalo Bills and Los Angeles Rams? Now, their stats are 6-6. Well, that's our stats. Buffalo is 10-2. So what does that tell you? What's going on with that? It's might not be looking good for us, but whatever. I'm not a huge sports follower. But I'm glad some people are. I'm just not. I could not do. I couldn't even do a man cave. I can't do a man cave. I mean, it's if I do a man cave for like anything, it can't just be like one thing, like Dallas Cowboys or Los Angeles Rams. It has to be multi-purpose. It has to be a timeless thing, right? It has to be timeless. So this interview, I didn't see this particular one. There's see the things I miss on YouTube. So there's a couple of talking points that I wanted to kind of review because I thought this was interesting. So this is from 2021, I guess. This is for my best friend's exorcism. I saw the Steve Harley one, but I didn't see this one. So there's a couple of points, and let's go over those.
Well, my whole life, my family moved around a lot. Like every year, we moved to a whole different state or city or whatever. And so I've lived in a lot of houses, and a lot of them have been haunted. And I remember when I was younger, I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was something sitting at the end of my bed singing to me. And yeah, it was stuff like that kind of happens to me all the time, and that's why I don't care to use a Ouija board.
Now that's partly because with the modeling, you're going from Virginia to different places. So I guess you go to where now maybe it's because of the modeling, or maybe it's because of just career moves or things like that. But anyway, um, I guess for me, I lived in the same house I lived in for 3 decades, and then I moved to another place and another place. I never really lived in my own in well, how do I put it? I've never lived in many houses each year. So this has been my own thing for a while. So, but anyway, about ghosts. So the moving thing is something that I've never been used to. Switching schools. I was always a problem kid, so I always had different schools. I just never coped with other kids. So for me, it was more about schools than it was about houses. But ghosts, my mom would talk about tarot cards. Um, Her aunt, I guess my grandmother's sister had tarot cards and they were passed down to her and my aunt, but they would just never mess with those things. Like they would always keep the tarot cards in this sort of silk, kind of colorful linen, this colorful like kind of like very silky cloth, and just put it in a box and put it like a cigar box and put it away somewhere, and that's it. So they never really mess with those things. So tarot cards are the things I'm more familiar with than Ouija boards. But um, besides that, I never really had ghosts. I've had dreams. You know, I dealt with dreams. Sometimes I would wake up in the same place that I would be in real life, and I would just wake up knowing it's a dream. I would say, I think I had one about people I haven't seen in years. And I was in this library from like, it looked like a library from the late 80s, early 90s. It had octagon designs and lots of brown, lots of cobblestone like pillars and beams and wood designs and something you'd see from like if you imagine a celebrity's luxurious home in 1980, like the most luxurious home, and it looks like that's what the library looked like, and I would see people from my past. But that's as close as ghosts as I would see. My mom did see her mother-in-law, my dad's mom, asking for forgiveness or whatever after she died in a dream. But I don't think I've ever seen any ghosts. No ghost stories. I would just never encounter any ghosts. That was my thing. I'd never see that. It would just never happen for me.
Treater, my little brother, he just turned 12, so he's kind of thinking he's too
Starting
old
high
for
school.
it. I'm like, no, because I still want to go. Last year I went, and this man came up to me and he goes, "Aren't you a little too old for this?" I was like,
No.
excuse you? Yeah, so, but yeah, trick or treating, and then maybe I'll face my fear and watch a scary movie.
Okay, well, that's my next question.
The one thing I said about before is that my oldest sister's greatest joy is doing trick or treating. And it's the least shit talking I could do about my oldest sister, okay? That's the one good quality. and everything else I don't like. It's just the way it is. It's like if you could find one good quality about one of the ladies on The View, like I could say that Whoopi Goldberg was convincing as Guinan on Star Trek: The Next Generation. That's the only nice thing I could say about Whoopi Goldberg. But yeah, my oldest sister loved to do trick or treating. Um, uh, we never did it. We as kids never did it. I never did it. So it would be nice to experience it for myself at least once. But oh well, these things happen, don't they? But yeah, it's a fun time. My favorite horror movie still being The Thing or Phantom of the Opera, 1925.
Book and really getting that right, because there's so many fans of the book, and I don't want to let them down. So that was my main thing.
It's an amazing book. So my last question.
The book is the best source material. The only exception, I think, is The French Connection, in which there was a book that focused on the French Connection, but the director of that movie, the director did not want to use the book. He got the actual detectives who were on the case. Some things have to go beyond the book, I think. So because it was non-fictional, The French Connection based on non-fiction, you kind of have to go to the source. So it's kind of a strange thing. Like with fiction, you want to go to the book. You want to get into the author's head sometimes. Or if you ever meet the author of the book, then you meet the author and you talk to the author, and you even get more insight about what the creator was trying to say. That's not even in the book. Like if you could meet Sylvia Plath, you would talk to her more than just read the book. So when like The French Connection was based on a real crime, so you get the detectives and you make the movie. So it's kind of weird. It's always great to go to the source. And lastly, we'll give a little update to the art. This horse takes up a lot of time and asks you to take up a lot of your time. So this horse is not done yet, but there's a lot of detail to the horse. There's Amiah there off to the side. So that's it for now. More updates coming up next week. The box is sent. That's my secret, but a good secret. And hopefully for Mom too. Hope everybody is doing well. And let's see. I'm just going to cheer for the city team. I'm going to cheer for the Rams and see if they win. Can they beat their 6-6 streak? We'll find out, won't we? Stay tuned. Much love, Amiah.